Hey guys, we're here. We're going to talk about Three Wild Reads by Gordon Corman. Have you ever had a day that just went so wrong and you were like, yep, I'm completely doomed? Or discovered that something about your town was so crazy that it could change your entire life? Or what about what it meant to be gifted or ungifted? If these are things that excite your fancy, then the unteachables, ungifted, and masterminds may be for you and your next read. Gordon Corman is actually from Canada. He has authored well over 100 books. He is definitely a middle school writer. He loves to write for the middle school mind because, let's face it, guys, middle schoolers, we're kind of crazy. He's funny, he's fast paced, and he loves a plot twist. So let's dive right into the Unteachables. Basically, imagine the most notorious class you can think about. It's not a class of accelerated kids, they're not advanced. Nope. They're referred to as unteachable. Basically, this group of students has been given up on, not only by the teachers, but the whole system. And then you throw in Mr. Kermit, who's a burned out teacher who is exhausted. He drinks weird green smoothies, has a toilet bowl sized coffee cup, and basically has been gifted the Unteachables as a gift for his last year before he can early retire. But here's the funny thing. In a classroom of kids who are all mismatched, they're weird, they're odd, they're different, they find that they really have a whole lot in common. They really find that all they were looking for was somebody to actually hear them and see them for who they were. And that's what Mr. Kermit does. In the end, you have all the SCS 8 kids, and you get all of their multiple narrations throughout the story. It's hilarious to see just how each one of these characters views the others and views the different outcomes of this story. Why will you love it? First off, it's hilarious. There are lots of plot twists that you don't see coming. But the underdogs do get to triumph. They get to win. They get to see what it's like to actually be cared about. They actually get to see what it's like to help a teacher turn around and find his love for teaching again. So now let's move on to ungifted. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we all know a Donovan Curtis, somebody who absolutely attracts chaos. Doesn't matter what Donovan does, says, thinks, he has to act. Basically, he ends up pulling one of the biggest plunders of his school history. What should have turned into him being completely expelled from school actually turned into him being sent to a gifted school. Donovan in his new school is actually seen as normal, which is kind of weird because nobody has ever seen Donovan as normal. But it turns out that these gifted kids really needed somebody like Donovan to remind them that there's life to be lived. They actually realized that maybe these goody two-shoes needed a little chaos in their life. This is a story about friendships that you don't really realize were going to happen. Took people out of their comfort zone, so they actually had to learn about each other. And not to mention a little robot wrestling, which was quite hilarious. I'm not going to give you too much into it because this also is an underdog story where these kids actually do win in the end, but how they get there is quite funny. Last but certainly not least, masterminds. Now, this is a little bit different than the first two stories because the author really moves away from the disaster turned perfection. This is really more of a sci-fi mystery novel. Basically, you have this perfect town, Serenity. It's safe. It's full of really nice people. It's actually kind of dull, but kids are able to bike around without helmets. They don't have to worry about being taken if they're out once the moon comes out. But there's something that's really off because there isn't any crime, and it's just a little too perfect. One day, when two of the main characters decide that they want to embark on going outside the city limits, they find very quickly that something is really off about this perfect town. They realize that strange events start happening. They realize that there's a mystery surrounding this plastics factory that's in town. So they do a little nonsense, break into the factory, and that's where things go a little crazy. They start finding lots of hidden files, lots of clues that start making them wonder, there's a lot that's off about our town. Why is this book so good? Or what makes this book so good? It is a plot twist crazy town. There's lots of chases, escapes, there's hacking that has to happen. There's lots of action. There's lots of mystery. And I can't tell you much more because it'll give it away. I will definitely tell you, you will not be able to put this book down once you start. So why read any of these three books? I'll be real honest. These are ordinary kids. They could be like any of you, but they become extraordinary stories. They're funny. They're fast. You don't really see what's coming next until it's already hit you. And honestly, guys, you will not want to put these down once you start reading them. So at the end of the day, which one are you going to choose first? The chaos of an unteachable classroom? The ungifted kid who has found himself in the middle of a gifted school? Or masterminds where they're trying to unravel the chaos in their perfect town?